Well, howdy, y'all. Back to Oakland. Okay, sorry. I was trying like crazy to get it all done. I really, really was. And I just couldn't get there quite fast enough. Sorry about that. I was having a little trouble typing. Things were going kind of crazy. By the way, howdy, Mike and Eddie and Sharon and Dave and Boris. No, it's by Flash. Oh God, I'm just gonna have to try and type it in here. Flash, Fluhard. All right, let's see if I can't type it in here for you. Looks like Flash Flirty, but I can't even guarantee I typed that right. Definitely not White Stripes. And yes, Cliff, it is Donald freaking Hughes. It is not Yoko Ono at triple speed. We are not doing that. We might do a short remembrance, because in case none of y'all have heard, our good friend Don, or LaDon Mott, has passed. So if you haven't heard, there's a couple videos out about it right now, and just want y'all to be aware so that it doesn't creep up on you and you don't find out about it like 6 months from now. Help get the word out that LaDon has left us. It's kind of sad, really. It's like our older statesmen are passing on, and well, I mean, look, age has that quality where it's Father Time is undefeated. You know how they say. But if any of y'all want to share any of your thoughts about Ladon Mott, feel free to do so at any point in time during the stream. It's kind of a sad day for all of us. It just that's really the way it's going to be quite a bit. So Scott and Cliff and DDT, howdy all. I don't really know where to go with this show. I had some ideas. I was going to show y'all something like this, just because somebody said growing a beard is such a good thing. But really? Is growing a beard a good thing? If you're taking it to there, is growing a beard a good thing? All right, so I don't want this to be like an unofficial wake. I didn't know Ladon well enough that anybody's going to know me from, well, they're not going to know me, not hardly at all. But you know, keep the rest of us informed. Yeah, remember, some of us we either weren't on at the same times, or there's some people that don't like my channel because I'm a little rough around the edges. And if you've watched Martin's show, you'll obviously know I am a little rough around the edges. Sure it is, Boris. It's a beard. It's called a circle beard. And I think the only people that wear it would be someone who could be described as a circle jerk. But hey, that's just my opinion, and I'm allowed to say such things because I'm allowed to have my opinion, damn it. Don't think that I'm trying to bash on people. But if what you're doing is absolutely crazy that way, I guess I'm going to say that. And no, Dave, that's not happening. I can't grow enough of a beard on the sides anyways. Oh, by the way, just in case, let's go ahead and do this. Y'all might be disappointed that I shaved off the chops portion and just left the goatee. Yes, I did miss the live last night. I saw that a lot of y'all picked up extra tins. Someone bought shots. But I was busy. It happens. Not all of us are able to be on every show. Yeah, I'm a little rough around the sound bites. I will explain any sound bite that Martin takes, though, because he does take them a little bit out of context. But none of y'all are laughing about those sound bites that he takes from me any more than I am. I guarantee I am the one laughing the most. Because he's going to do something like that and I'm going to laugh. It's awesome. Horatio, howdy sir. How are you today? Again, I am not sure exactly when we started. I know it was after Eddie. And I will get around to checking on when the Nashville Mafia show is supposed to go live. I have the little button for notifications on Willie's channel, but 9 times out of 10 I don't get those notifications. So if anybody happens to see that they're going live, can y'all just smack me in the back of the head and say, hey, they're going. I mean, after all, this is still a tailgate. And yes, I am just filling in for Mr. Flat Cap and Miss Lady Fire. Because they are working on the official Pipe Week awards show and red carpet event. And obviously, if you're trying to put on something that's that really important, you might have to do just a little bit of cutting back on certain other things. But that's okay. Our good illustrious invisible guy that nobody's ever seen, but everybody supposedly knows what he looks like. He contacted me and asked me if I would at least fill in for Flat Cap and Lady Fire. And no, I didn't expect that I was going to be on 2 weeks in a row for them. That's just the way it worked out this particular time. And again, no, I do not have a tin to pop, and no, I'm nowhere near as pretty as Raphael. So needless to say, I'm not even in Lady Fire's same zip code. If y'all came here expecting to see something other than this ugly mug, bye. I can't help you. I'm not going to be winning any prizes for looks. I'm not quite ugly enough to make a ugly tree flinch, and there's a few people that got me beat on making a freight train back up and take a dirt road, but yes, Cliff, that is absolutely correct. Howdy, Drop Bear. Glenn, how are you, sir? I see that you are leaving, though, so it's fine. Get the hell out of here. We didn't need no Australians in here talking their funny English know-how. Show a little leg? Y'all don't want to see the little leg. It's not that little, but it's shorter than the other two. Howdy, Paul. Glenn, I can honestly say that in the YTPC, yeah, she's like supermodel quality, and the rest of us are just kind of like here. Not saying that I covet my brother's wife, but she's easy on the eyes. She's real easy on the eyes. Glenn, I was having a good one until right about the same time that Eddie started his show, and I got the news that LaDon Mott passed, and kind of wrecked my whole mood. But other than that, I mean, you know. So I broke out the old I've got one and you don't pipe. And yes, I could say I've got one and you don't, at least with this pipe. I don't think anybody would actually want one, but that's okay. Still smoking that same Sutliff blend that everybody goes Creamy butterscotch. What in the heck? Night, Eddie. You have a good pizza and take care. Hey, we'd love to see you later on the Nashville Mafia show. This stuff doesn't taste like butterscotch. My wife says it smells remotely like butterscotch when it's burning, so the room note, I guess, is butterscotchy. It tastes kind of like Virginia Oriental Perique with maybe just a little touch of Latakia. Glenn, that's not always true. You can trust one if you're in the swimming pool. Just scream jacuzzi and tell somebody to pull your finger. Not Don Mark, but La Don Mott. Let me see it. I'll type it in there real quick. But yes, La Don Mott has passed away. I heard yesterday that his kidneys were failing and he was filling out the DNR, which is do not resuscitate paperwork. Uh, I didn't say you had to pee just to go rip one off in the pool. Peeing in the pool, that's just unsanitary. I mean, you know what they say? He who cooks carrots and peas in the same pot is unsanitary. Absolutely. Ah, Mr. Tolson got some cigars that I recommended. Uh, Tell me how you like them and remind me which cigars they were after you've smoked one. And we'll see if we can't really zero in on exactly what your taste preference and profile is. I might be able to really get you into some nice cigars without going completely over the top in price. Howdy, James. How are you doing today? And yes, I believe DDT is correct. Urine is actually fairly sterile. You can only drink it 3 times before it becomes so toxic that you can't. I wouldn't suggest it though. Just me. I think the gag reflex is going to hit there. Glenn, I'm in Houston, the south side of Houston. Might as well stay south. Oh, goodness. Hope you get better very soon, James. We need people to stop getting COVID. Damn it. I mean, I know it's kind of hard to avoid it always, but I either am not going to get it, or I am going to continue to wear a mask, or they are going to have to tie me down and force feed me a damn shot. I played guinea pig once when I was in the Army. I don't have any intentions of doing it again. But good news, I've got all my anthrax vaccines. Howdy, Everett. Yes, sir, that is a generalized thought for this whole entire program. Howdy, Todd. How you doing today? Vanilla custard. Now, vanilla custard is okay. Don't get me wrong. I'm okay with the vanilla custard. If you're going to go vanilla, it's not bad. But the creme brulee, also from Sutliff, I thought was a better, easier blend to smoke. When I say easier, I mean if you're going to have 3, 4, 5, 6 bowls of it in a day, you're not going to be just so strung out on just straight vanilla that you're just sick of it. It's got some other flavors in there that will perk through every once in a while. And it's kind of like a cigar. You get certain peaks and valleys in a cigar that the notes change. Well, Sharon says she hasn't had the corona. Funny, I heard that there was a guy who had corona who's searching for a girl with Lyme. Lyme. Some of y'all might actually think that's funny. I'm sorry, Martin. I stole a joke. I could have sent it to you, but I didn't. Howdy, Philip. Glad to have you aboard. Yes, aromatics are not for everybody. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that everybody's got to go smoke aromatics. But if you're going to smoke aromatics, I think getting some that do not just completely saturate you in the first 2 bowls, that you can't smoke it again for the rest of the day. My opinion, you should be able to smoke anything you like, but you should also be able to smoke as much of it as many times as you want to. About to light up some Rustica. Well, we've been sitting here a little while. Why don't we just go ahead and have a bowl call? Oh, Yuck Yuck was on the line. Cool, not a problem, Philip. I don't mind. Yuck Yuck could have been on the aromatics. I'm cool with that statement. There's a lot of people out there that will not touch an aromatic. OJK in, well, I know that's not Stump. Oh, that is Stumpy. Yeah, Stumpy's a different one. Not the carbon cob, but Stumpy. Don't feel bad about not catching corona as bad as somebody else. have sympathy that they had it worse than you did. There's no such thing as fraud when it's a pandemic. Some people caught Spanish flu and didn't wake up. Some did. Oh, no, no, no. Philip, I understood. I understood as soon as I actually figured out what you were saying. Yuck, yuck, yuck. It's like, ha. There's not coming any more of that. Just one. Sweet whiskey in a Missouri Meerschaum legend. Oh, nice. Very nice. Philip, that's very possible that Spanish flu did start at a U.S. Army base in the United States. It was just first actually diagnosed in Spain, which is how it got the moniker Spanish flu. Quite honestly, it's going to be really difficult to accurately tell where exactly Spanish flu came from because the testing that they did back in 1918, when it basically first started, would be almost impossible to figure out. And the first person probably survived it, so hard to say. You don't have to go all that far to smoke a Camel, Glenn. It's just a short little jump across the Indian Ocean. Yeah, y'all Australians are pretty stout. You could probably swim it. It's only that far on a map. I get stuff like that from people in Rhode Island about places in Texas all the time. Well, James, I'll give you the best knowledge I know about COVID. Hurricane Harvey came through here in Houston. And the company my wife works for is actually owned by the Chinese government. And they would not let their employees work from home. Oh yeah, cicadas are pretty rough out here right now. Here comes another wave of them. So, anyways, they would not allow their employees to work from home. And Houston was flooded. You couldn't even get to the office for most of it. They still made their people take vacation days. Okay. Well, 2019 in September, now let's remember that's September. Before you've actually heard of Corona, in September, they immediately start telling their employees, go home with your computer, make sure you can work from home. Here's spare equipment to make it happen. Okay, no problem. Well, September, October, November, when people start hearing slightly something about some kind of virus, this same company that said, no, you can't take your stuff home and work from home when Houston is flooded was fully on already telling their people, you're going home and you're going to work from home. We're closing the office. This is November. Now, January, February, first cases that are actually inside the United States that are proven to be corona that are inside the United States. They've been telling their people since September, without actually saying what the reason was. And here it is, February of 2020. Well, 6 months. Count them up as any way you want to. That's 6 months they knew. Now, Cliff, I wouldn't deny that there were plenty of people that were saying, hey, man, we've got something that's just really hard to treat something. But the Chinese government knew that it was out and it was going to get worse. Boris, you know, that's true. If I had one of those bug assault rifles and a big bottle of sriracha, I could probably cook myself up a full meal of cicadas right here. Except for the fact that they won't come nowhere near me. They see I'm looking a little hungry these days. See, and Cliff, that's the hard part, is what portion of PPE would have actually done anything? Oh, hey, here's another one. November. November, this same shipping company that my wife works for was buying every one of the masks that they could possibly get from here in the United States and shipping them to China. And then suddenly, the United States of America couldn't come up with a damn mask at all. So somebody knew. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does go right through a mask, but Glenn, I think if he was wearing like a Freddy Krueger mask, it might have worked. Because I'm fairly certain that nobody would want Freddy Krueger to stick a handful of blades off in their mouth. Just saying. Hey, Cliff, you got to gas me and make sure that I'm out cold for this dental procedure. Freddy Krueger mask on. All right. Pretty sure I'm saying no. But hey, what do I know? I am not a pandemic-atrician or whatever that word is. I'm definitely not Fauci. I don't speak Farsi. I picked up a few words. not enough that I could actually do any good, so I'm not going to sit there and try and repeat them now. Virologist. That's a good one. Yes. That word, whatever it is. Yeah, see, that's part of the problem. Uh, if the particle is small enough, there is absolutely no amount of PPE that is going to be effective. You still want to be able to breathe, right? So what? Fully contained separationist suit that won't allow passage of any gas? Good luck. Actually, that squirrel is probably pissed at the cat. He's walking around right over there. And that would be my cat, the one I call Trump. Big furry Himalayan with some gigantic blue eyes. Beautiful cat, mean as hell. Probably the reason why he's my cat. That is completely true, DDT. Uh, I was telling people that from the very beginning. But because I'm not going to go out and get a vaccine, I'll just continue to wear the mask. Hey, but that's okay because I've got some really nice masks my wife got for me. And then, of course, I got one from Steph, which is also really nice. Uh, and I bought a few. I've got enough to last until, 2025. So I'm just going to keep wearing the mask and telling people, you can be the guinea pig all you damn well want to. I got paid 95 cents an hour last time I was a guinea pig. Oh, yeah. Climate change. Climate change. Oh, my God, climate change. Let's see. I saw pictures of California. Uh, Now, y'all can stop me if you've heard this one before. But I saw pictures of California from 1930-ish showing a hillside that was sparse grass and like 5 trees. And the only identifying mark that you could tell that this is the same exact hillside was a certain weirdly shaped boulder on it. And because of the placement of that boulder, the one that I saw from 2000, 70 years later, where there are trees covering the whole side of that hillside, you could still make out that boulder, a little bit more weather worn, but not by much. Is that called climate change when trees that weren't there 70 years ago are now covering an area? Well, that's climate change. That is definitely going to cause some form of climate change. No big deal, just truth about some of it. That is true, Chad. That is very true. Part of the reason why Las Vegas has this great big huge gigantic dam making a ginormous lake, because Las Vegas is pretty much built in a patch of desert. The city as it now stands would dry up and blow away if it wasn't for that big ass dam. You know, there's a lot of things that happen to be very, very weirdly. Climate change is always going to happen. Hey, you don't believe me? You know, there was an ice age. Explain the ice age. Climate change. Okay. You know how long the Earth's been getting hotter and then colder and then hotter and then colder? Oh, pretty much since before time was starting to be recorded. So, yeah, climate change. Let's just go back to shit happens. Eventually, it's going to happen. Well, James, I'm hearing a lot about when they come here to Texas, they should really pack up in big trucks because I want them to be able to get home. They should also bring plenty of Sharpies and certain black items with zippers because that might be how they're getting home. I believe you, Mr. Tolson, climate standstill would be the most detrimental thing. Uh, hey, deadlock. No change at all. And they still give that speech on Southwest, Cliff. I know, because I've been there for like one of the funniest steward/stewardess shows ever. And it's been so practiced that it gets pretty crazy. Hey, I just heard a Prius go by. I'm pretty sure it was one of those fancy electric or maybe a hybrid Prius. Between the strip mining to get all the individual components for the batteries and the super tankers to cart those to places where it's still legal to process them, and then the whole toxic processing of those materials into the batteries. To produce one Prius, you can run a 1994 Dodge diesel for 5 straight years without the engine ever shutting off. Remember, that's one Prius or 5 years of running a diesel engine. Not a problem, DDT. Glad you could be here. Here's the weird part. Now, I'm not saying that COVID is not dangerous. But in total, it has a 95% or higher survivability rate. But who does it affect most? Let's see, who does it affect most? The elderly and those that have pre-existing breathing conditions. That's the tendencies. Not saying that's the only ones that are affected, that's the tendencies. Who's in the control of all the world governments? The elderly. And some of them have plenty of pre-diagnosed breathing conditions. So, yeah. Funny. Let's shut it all down so that we, who are the select few who are controlling the many, can still do whatever we want to do, but we can do it without all the crowded people, so that way we won't get sick and we won't die. My take on the issue. Cliff, I think 20 realistically, unless I'm trying to set my head on fire, is about the limit of my draw. And that seems to be about right. That's about, what? 20 is 10% of 200, and I'm around 200 followers. So yeah, during a live stream, you will get normally about 10% of the people who follow you. Less if they know that it's a regularly scheduled thing and that you're probably not giving something away or creating intense amount of pain to live through. More if you are creating intense amount of pain or are giving stuff away. So if you want 1,000 followers and you want them quickly, give something away every week. People will come out of the woodworks to follow you. Glenn, you're here because it's just a comfortable place to sit and wait until the Nashville Mafia starts and you can start harassing those guys. Because their show is great. And I'm just hanging out with y'all and giving y'all a place to sit around and chat and BS with people and have a good time. Smoke a bowl if you want to. Smoke a stick if you want to. Smoke a cigarette if you want to. Glenn, they like the sound of my cicadas too. course, I agree with you. There's a lot of people out there that think they are experts in medical care. I'm not an expert in medical care, but I grew up with somebody who was a registered nurse my whole entire life. That would be my mom. I picked up a few things. Oh, Chad finally did the Pipe Week challenge. Oh, nice. I'm going to have to go find that one. Not directly after this show because I'm be watching the Nashville Mafia, but I gotta at least see that. It shouldn't be too early, Everett. Just remember, if you got a hitter, hit her in the head with the lead pipe. Well, nobody tell me who Chad called out. Remember, it's going to be a real slow, eventual spread of that. I'm pretty sure that Derek Tant, the Maya, has not done it. Dave, yeah, probably very blind, but we're not going there. Come on now. And Glenn, that only works if you first say, here, smell this rag. Doesn't it smell funny? Steph, you have a great night also. Had a good time having you here, sister. Thanks for letting me know about LaDon. Maybe that'll be the new trend in pipe tobacco. Chloroform. It's got to be better than that new trend in beards.
Warm enough for you?
Oh yeah, plenty warm. Yeah. New trend in beards. I don't know if it'd be classified as a flavored tobacco. Yes, Mr. Tolson and Cliff, I understand your sentiments exactly. I mean, if you want your face to exactly match a toilet seat, that's the beard for you. Okay, Glenn, here it comes one more time. And look at that first one. Whole face is shaved. It goes up on the top of his head, looks like a shit stain, all the way down around his neck, and then back up to the top of his head. Like I said, his face matches a toilet seat. And that one on the bottom in the middle, it looks like Jack Black. It might be. I don't know. It's a sideways mohawk connected to your beard. There's no way to hide that other than just shave it off and go completely full on bald. There's no way you can fix that. Mr. Tolson, that's not a man bun, that's a douche knot. Y'all can call me mean if you want to. My son, when he got to be about 18 and he thought that that was a possibility of a way he wanted to style his hair, and I told him I have clippers. He said, no man bun? And I said, no. You want to grow it long, fine, but you put that bun on the top of your head trying to make yourself look like a girl, we will go bald with it. You will have that military high and tight. It'll be okay. Ooh, look at there. Mike is calling his shot. Glenn, go ahead. Make a reply. Them's fighting words. It looks like he went in with a KO punch. Got the job done. First hit. Done. Would that have been a Mike Tyson style hook? Or just an uppercut? Ugh. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that the man bun should have just not ever been worked on. The other option I gave my son is he could grow all of his hair out really long, and as long as he could gather it all up and tie it into a knot at the top of his head, and then it's a top knot. I said, and then we're going to just go ahead and start calling you tossing off barefoot. Some of y'all read books. Y'all might know who I was talking about. Oh yeah, that Mike Tyson put you to sleep left hook? Yeah. About the only defense was to bite an ear. Ooh, look at there. Mike's got fake facial hair. That's the comeback. Just keep pulling tighter and tighter. It didn't work for Kenny Rogers. Didn't your oldest boy also just recently sit in jail because he didn't ask if he could just go home? Or was that the youngest one? I forget. Nice. Glenn, that's a good one. I'm going to remember that because that was funny. A white womb broom. Awesome. Yeah, Dave, because you're actually a fairly smart individual, sir. And I'm not going to talk about apples and oranges, but more like how far they fall from trees. Just asking a question. Of course, it could always be the flavor saver. Everett, don't mind. Unless, of course, this is your beard. Now, if this is your beard, yeah, you probably have reason to mind. It's the toilet head beard. No!